A couple of Dallas Cowboys stories here, and let me just run through this fairly quickly for you. Uh, Big story involving Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory was a pretty good college football player, defensive end, Nebraska. Had a lot of problems, suspended by the National Football League very early on. Randy Gregory has now filed a massive lawsuit against the NFL and the Denver Broncos, saying that because the NFL refused to give him a, quote, therapeutic waiver for bipolar depression and anxiety attacks, he got suspended 4 times for, quote, drug violations, and he had every right to get the therapeutic waiver. He's been fined $533,000 in his career. He's a good football player, but there's a mental health issue. And now he's suing the league because they kept turning down the therapeutic waiver that a lot of other players have for bipolar, anxiety, whatever. So that's a big issue that's going forward there in Dallas. Of course, he is now with the 49ers, but he was a pretty good player with the Broncos and with the Cowboys early on. Denver, here's a headline for you. Guess who started taking snaps with the number 1 offense in their final OTAs today?
Bo Nix.
You got it. And he has fast-forwarded, jumped ahead of Zach Wilson, has left the journeyman Jarrett Stidham in the rearview mirror, and he has just swallowed everything that Sean Payton has offered in terms of the playbook, team meetings, the complexities, etc. Bad story, Miami. Why would you do this? He's an unsigned free agent still. His name is Xavier Howard, Pro Bowl cornerback. He has now been arrested and charged with, quote, revenge porn. Relationship with a teenage girl. Relationship went sour. He evidently videoed sexual escapades, him and her, and then put it out on social media. Good night now to your career, Xavier Howard. And then there's Kansas City. Rashee Rice has been arrested twice in the offseason. Chief players put their arms around him. We're going to make him a better person as well as being a really good football player. Now we find out he was involved in a shooting at SMU when he was in college, and that the Chiefs and Andy Reid knew about it and did nothing about it. Then they drafted him. Now he's got this other problem. Now he's been allowed to come to their OTAs, but pretty shortly the gate will be locked because the NFL is going to suspend him for this terrible drag racing incident that injured all these different people. He's being sued by 6 different people that he and a former SMU teammate caused by drag racing on a Dallas freeway in the middle of the night. He's got a big problem. Last one, late-breaking story. For some reason, they don't like him. Now, maybe it's because they compare him to the coach that preceded him to the coach that preceded him. Talking about Steelers, what Bill Cowher was prior to that, what Chuck Noll became. Mike Tomlin catches a lot of heat. He has never had a losing season in 17 years in the Steel City. Just signed a contract extension through 2027. I didn't realize this till today. His composite record is 173-100 in Pittsburgh. But dude has not been to the Super Bowl. That's kind of a big issue because the coach prior did, and the coach prior to that got him into the Hall of Fame in terms of Chuck Noll. So that's what's going on with the NFL Notebook, and you already told us that you're a favorite of capitalism, so yes, that's okay. Any comments on this whole Randy Gregory story?
Well, I just like I want to talk about the Denver Broncos. I love that Bo Nix is having success. And we talked a lot about the year of the quarterback, and there were a lot of them were on the West Coast, and, it's Penix, it's Nix, it's Caleb Williams. I'm hoping that they're going to have a lot of success in the NFL. And it's nice to see someone like Bo Nix. He always said he was a systems quarterback. Now he's landed in a system. This could be a blessing for the two.
Yeah, with a crazy man as coach who's an X and O's phenom.
You're right.
So, I mean, it's going to be fun to see this going forward. The only difference is Caleb Williams has a lot of pretty good offensive skill people around him. Mm-hmm. Denver does not really. I mean, they have a young running back, Javonte Williams, coming off knee surgery, who finally found himself at the back end of last season. All their wide receivers have been hurt, and they've had skilled guys. You just can't keep them on the field. So now Bo Nix, I think it's going to be a little overwhelming because I just don't think he has the firepower around him. But this bears watching because he is.
Just another quick question on the Steelers. I saw, did you report this, I think, in the Best 15, that they're thinking of using Justin Fields like Cordell Stewart?
Yeah, and also possibly say, hey, new rules, kickoff and punt returns, go back there. Because he's big and he's athletic and he is fast. He's got wheels. And Justin Fields said, well, I'm a quarterback. Well, he's going to be the backup quarterback to Russell Wilson. Do you run the risk of getting him busted up trying to return kicks? But he's so gifted athletically. So where there's conversation in the meeting rooms with the quarterbacks, there might be Justin Fields trying to return some kicks. Okay.